You land in Germany full of hope, maybe even thinking, I will get a job quickly and won't need to touch my block account money. You might have heard the promises from people or YouTubers that there are so many student jobs here. Some might also be saying if you have experience, you will easily find a work student position. But no one tells you the truth that your health insurance might still not be active. Your Anmeldung appointment could take weeks. And if you are in a small town with basic German, those jobs, not for you. I still remember in the first week, a classmate of mine fainted in the middle of the city. And she had just arrived. Her insurance wasn't sorted, and when she ended up in the hospital, she has to pay everything from her own pocket. No working insurance, no access to block account money, and the little cash she brought from home was gone in just a week. And that's the part no one talks about. You think you will arrive and start earning. Some even hope they will start saving or help the parents to pay back the education loan right away. But the reality is, the first few weeks are about surviving and not earning. And this is where students start to panic and coming up with the idea to go home back. Not because they are lazy, but because they weren't prepared for how slow and difficult system can be at the beginning. So in this video, I'm going to break it down for you. What kind of student jobs you can actually get even if you have no German skills, how I personally survived with 2 part-time jobs and still manage my studies, and how to structure your week so you don't feel burnout while still having time for gym, friends, and bit of life. Let's start. So first, what kind of jobs you can actually do here as a student? There are few typical ones you will hear about all the time. You have got work student jobs. Those are part-time roles usually related to your field. Think of tech, marketing, finance, etc. They pay well and give you actual experience, but many of them expect at least some German or few semesters of studies already. Then there are internships, which are either mandatory for your degree or optional ones you can apply during semester breaks. They can be paid or unpaid, but they're amazing for building your resume and skills. And of course, the mini jobs. These are super common among students. You will find them in cafes, restaurants, supermarkets, delivery applications, and so on. They are usually limited to earning around 556 euros a month, which is tax-free and pretty flexible time-wise. And these are often your best bet when you are just starting out, especially if your German is still in progress. And one more type, on-campus jobs, like research assistant roles, tutoring, or library work. These are great because they are literally at your uni, often flexible, and in some cases don't even count against your workday limits. In fact, in my own class, there were students who managed the official social media handles of our study program, and yes, they were getting paid monthly for it. So sometimes your job might be just few steps away from your lecture hall. Now, does it matter where you study in Germany, like big city or the small town? And I would say, yeah, it's kind of does. If you're going to a city like Berlin, Munich, or Frankfurt, that's awesome. You will find way more job options, including English-speaking ones, but more competition too, and higher rent. And in smaller town, it can feel limited. Maybe just one supermarket, a couple of cafes, and your uni. But that also means fewer students fighting for the same mini jobs. Plus, you can always look for remote work or even commute once or twice a week to the next city if needed. And small towns are cheaper to live in, so even a mini job might be enough to cover most of your monthly costs. Next, let's talk about the real challenge. Can you actually manage university and work at the same time? And the short answer will be yes, but let me break it down for you with something more concrete. A weekly schedule that worked for me and might work for you too. So during my studies, I had 2 jobs at once. Like I said, I used to work weekends at a restaurant, just Saturdays and Sundays. And on the weekdays, I had a cleaning job. which I'm not shy to share, as this is very common if you don't come prepared in Germany like I did. And this job was at office from around 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Now here's the important part. The restaurant sometimes wanted me to work during the week too, but I always said no. I was earning enough, and honestly, I did not want it to overdo it. Because the thing is, it's really tempting, especially when you are coming from places like Asia, like I did, to say yes to everything. We don't want to disappoint, and we feel guilty saying no to our boss, even if we are drowning in deadlines. But actually, in Germany, it's totally okay to say no. Setting boundaries is normal here, and your boss will respect it. And it's always better to protect your energy than ending up being exhausted and behind in your university. I also made sure I had time for gym, which is my hobby, and hanging out with friends. Random walks in some parks or even small weekend trips helped me a lot. And those moments, I genuinely miss them now. For me, college life isn't just surviving, it's also about living a little and having a new experiences. That's what gives you full experience and no regrets later on. So here's what a weekly routine might look if you are juggling study and part-time job. Like you can see, Monday to Thursday, you can start your day early with lectures until the afternoon. And after lunch, you can either continue classes or head to a part-time job. Evenings are for relaxing or gym, a walk, or finding down with a journal or show of your choice. And Fridays, use this time flexible for reviewing lectures, sending internship job applications, or exploring the city with your friends. It's a mix of productivity and social recharge. And on Saturday, sleep in tight, then take care of the essentials like groceries, laundry, and cleaning your dorm. And after lunch, your main mini job shift begins and usually runs through the evening, like in my case. And on Sundays, another mini job day for many students, but keep it light if possible and if you don't need money. Plan your week, cook with your friends, and make sure to unwind before Monday hits again. And yeah, this is all flexible. Some weeks will be busier, some lighter. Just make sure you don't cross the legal limits, which is important. 120 full days or 240 half days a year. That's super important because breaking those rules can mess with your student visa. And trust me, it's not worth it. And what if you don't speak much German yet? Honestly, yes. It helps a lot if you speak German, especially for many jobs or anything with customer interactions. But you can still find English-speaking jobs, especially in cities at international companies, or even on campus. My tip will be look for English-speaking jobs in the beginning, but start learning German from day one. Even basic phrases open up way more options for you, and it just makes life here easier in general. So yeah, working while studying isn't always easy, but it's totally worth it. You earn money, you build experience, practice your German skills, and meet people outside your university bubble. But don't fall into the trap of overworking just because you can. Protect your time, say no when needed, and make space for all other beautiful parts of being a student in Germany. If you're looking for job websites, I have already made a blog post listing 15 of the best ones, from local student platforms to national ones. The link is right there in the description of this video. And before you go, if you're wondering how to start learning German for free while you are still in your home country, I have made a full video on that. You will see it here. Also, if you are still at planning stage of your study in Germany journey, check the video here. That one will guide you step by step. That's it from me today. Drop your questions in the comments, share your experience if you are already in Germany, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if this helped you. Take care, enjoy the journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Tschüss.